Oh, hey, welcome. Hey, I am feeling weird and anxious. Are you? So, I am going for a little bit of a drive, and I'd love for you to come with me and we can work through these weird feelings together instead of freaking out and going down some dark mental rabbit holes. If that sounds good to you, just give me a second while I make sure that everything is closed up because it's important to stay on top of what you can control when you're feeling a little out of control. Okay, so let's go. So I am back where I grew up on Oahu, Hawaii. And I'm just feeling a little out of sorts because even though it is wonderful to be back in such familiar territory, I also feel really weird and complicated emotions, as one usually does while visiting family and being around old identities. I'm just taking this moment to be with myself and come back home to myself even when I am feeling all these complex, weird emotions. And so, thank you for joining me because I know that in times like this, it is easy to just give in to old bad habits. And out of all the things that you could be doing right now to avoid feeling these emotions, you're here with me. And thank you. I appreciate that. And it's just good to know that you're not alone in this. You are not the only one who's feeling so weird and complicated and anxious. And it can be easy to forget that when we just look around and see everyone doing their own thing. But this is what it is to be human. And so the first thing I like to remind myself is that it's okay. It is actually okay to feel weird and complicated and anxious. You do not have to feel perfect right now. You don't have to do positive thinking. This is a full-on human experience, and I don't want to fight myself. I don't want to force myself to be a perfect, positive robot. And I don't want you to be a perfect, positive robot either. So let's just be weird feeling humans together right now and know that it's okay to feel this way. I think we're the ones who often shame ourselves the most when we're feeling a bit off. I know I do. I start thinking, why am I feeling this way? I should have more gratitude. I should be more healed by now. But why? Why can't I just allow myself to be a human being who is intelligent and complicated and complex? Because the reason why we're having these mixed up, weird, anxious emotions is because we're intelligent creatures who can hold opposing thoughts and conflicting viewpoints in our minds all at the same time. This is just what makes us human. You're intelligent. And so in this moment, I want to give myself that. I want to say, hey, you're being an intelligent human being right now because you're feeling all different kinds of emotions right now because you're thinking of all different viewpoints and perspectives. You have a lot of thoughts going on in your head at once, and they are all valid. You do not have to decide on just one way of thinking or one way of feeling. And you definitely don't have to make everything tied up neatly and perfectly with a bow. We're the ones who have to say, hey, it is okay to feel this way. Because the anxiousness comes when we're trying to avoid feeling this way. I just feel so much worse when I'm trying to not feel these feelings and when I'm fighting how I'm feeling. So why not just be cool with it? Why not just be like, yeah, I'm feeling weird and complicated right now, but it is okay. It is part of the human experience. So let's just take a moment to breathe deeply and know that we are okay in this moment. Nothing is going wrong right this second. If there is something going wrong, can you do something about it? And if so, then go do it. But if there is nothing that you can do right now to change anything, and if nothing is actually going wrong right this second, you're not being physically attacked, there's nothing actually going horribly wrong right in front of you, happening to you. So let's just allow ourselves to relax into this present moment and just be chill about our weird feelings. Be like, I'm actually okay right this moment. There's actually nothing going wrong. There is nothing more that I need to do or try to manage or try to control. And if you feel the feeling rising up in you saying, oh my God, but everything's going wrong, I have to do something, what is it that you're going to do? If there's nothing that you know that you can do or that you want to do that you know is actually going to help things, just let it go. Just let yourself let it go for now. And just check back in within yourself and just sit with your emotions and your discomfort and not make it mean that something is going horribly wrong with you as a person. I'm just taking this moment right now to accept myself as a human being that has all kinds of complex, differing, contradictory, deep emotions. And it is going to feel uncomfortable. I am going to feel anxious. I am going to feel weird. And that is normal. And I don't have to change any of that right now. And in fact, the less I try to fight it, and the less I try to change it into something forced into positivity and put a little band-aid over it, the more I just let it be, then suddenly it's so much less terrible. And it's so good to remember that all these feelings are just coming from thoughts that are going on in my head. It's just these sentences going through my brain, thinking, oh my goodness, what if this happens? Or how am I going to know how so-and-so is going to feel about me? And how can I do something to avoid them feeling that way. And I'm just noticing, oh my goodness, my mind is all over the place. My mind is out there trying to control all these things that have no direct answers and have no real things that I can do about it right now. But these things, these thoughts, are what is causing me to have the feelings. So just being aware that these feelings are coming from my own thoughts puts me back in the driver's seat of myself and my life, and noticing what's real. These feelings are coming from things that aren't happening yet, or I'm not even sure are happening, or are simply just not in my own rightful control. And I'm over here trying to control it all. And that's what's making me feel so anxious and so out of control, because nothing is actually wrong right this second. And so it is so helpful to remember that your thoughts are causing these feelings. And it is okay. That is what our brains do as human beings. It means that we are trying to understand our lives and other people, and that's all good. But it's good to also realize when all this thinking is no longer serving us. And so now I'm just noticing, okay, if it's just these thoughts in my head, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to think about that will actually serve me for the rest of the day, given my current circumstance? Because all I really have control over is what I choose to think about and what I choose to focus on. And this is how I communicate to myself, is with my thoughts and my focus. And that's really what a good self-relationship is realizing that we are constantly able to communicate to ourselves. We are constantly giving ourselves messages and meaning about ourselves to ourselves. And in order to build a stronger, more loving self-relationship, I have to be aware of what these messages are and decide, where do I want to direct these messages? What is it that I want to be focusing on for myself? What is it that I actually want to be telling myself? How do I want to act and treat myself, even when, and especially when, I am feeling this discomfort? That is where our personal power lies. In knowing that we always have a choice. We're the ones who can direct our focus and redirect ourselves when we get pulled away from what we have full control over. And so that's why it is so good that you are hanging with me right now and working through these weird feelings with me right now, because I know that it's so easy to just go and do some mindless stuff that you regret later. But we're over here working through it, so I'm really proud of you. And I'm proud of myself for taking this time to connect with myself. So now that I've reminded myself that it is okay to feel this way, and that it just means that I'm an intelligent human being having a human experience, and that my emotions are just coming from sentences that are going through my brain, and that my main job here isn't to try to control other people and other things and whatever happens in the future. That isn't my job. My job is right here, right now, noticing each moment, how I'm treating and connecting with myself. Now that I've done all that and I'm starting to feel noticeably more relaxed and in control of myself, still a bit weird, but a lot more centered. Now I just bring in some presence and gratitude for whatever is good right now. Not delusional positivity, not trying to cover up how I truly feel, but just noticing all the good that is right this second, because it is so easy to get pulled away and just distracted by all the things that I perceive to be going wrong or what I think is negative. And most of that isn't even happening right now. It's all just in my mind. And you might be noticing that too, that there's so much negativity going on in your mind that you're not even sure if it's real or not. It's just worst case scenarios. It is jumping to conclusions. It is assuming that we know exactly what someone else is thinking and feeling, even though they haven't told us anything. That's just all us making things up in our minds, and that is affecting how we feel. So, what is more based in reality is what we know for sure right now. What is good about this moment right now, no matter how big or how small? There is so much to appreciate. There is so much that is not going wrong. And if we don't point these things out to ourselves and make it blatant to ourselves, then we're not getting the full picture of reality. Because it's not true that everything is terrible and awful. There's so much good. There's so much supporting us right now. And if we overlook that, then we're not based in reality. We're not being realistic. Because part of reality is that there is a lot of good. And when you choose to focus on the good, it doesn't mean that the bad's not there. It's just that you're focusing on the full picture instead of just the darkness and all that you can't control. now it's good to just think about, okay, what is good about right now? What is good about today? It could be the smallest of things. Like, look how nice the weather is. The car is driving. I am alive. I am here where I want to be, just in my life, doing what I know I want to be doing, even when it feels uncomfortable, and doing my best, even when my best doesn't always feel as perfect as I want it to be, and that I'm thankful for just the effort I'm making in my life and for myself. And wow, look at how green. It's just like enjoying the beauty around you. Just think about all the little things that are good, because our human brains are programmed to fixate on the negative. So that's why the negative stuff seems so at the forefront all day long, just being like, focus on this, look how bad this is. But it is also realizing that there is still so much good in life. So, what is most important now for the rest of the very near future? What is it that you want to focus on for yourself, for your own well-being, for what would help you today, no matter how small, that you can take more control over and give some power back into your own life and your own sense of self? Like celebrating the fact that I am making an effort for myself and to do little things that put my mind at ease. Getting gas ahead of time, drinking more water, just noticing what I need in order for me to feel more comfortable within myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, in whatever capacity that I can, that actually benefits my state in that moment. What can I do for myself? What is actually important to me in this moment that I have control over? And just know that that is the most important thing on the to-do list, on the personal docket. I hope that this has helped you to work through your own weird feelings and to come back to yourself and to get your mindset in a better place and have a better focus. All that we have control over is how we treat and interact with and communicate to ourselves in all these moments of life. And that's the goal, is to just be okay as possible with ourselves. We're all in this together. Feeling weird is a part of human life, and you're not alone. I am so happy that you came along with me. You made it through. And let's go on with our day now. More centered, more connected, and cool with just our weirdness. Okay. I'll see you later. Thank you again for joining me. Bye.